that we did earlier with partners. Now they're just doing it in a group. We like to say pass and follow, but everything is double contact. So they're gonna do pass and move, pass and rotational pass, pass and back pass. They're gonna do it in a group, and they also get a little exercise in between.
Typically speaking, we will give in this drill a number. They're going to do it 30 times.
We like 30. 30 takes about anywhere between 4 to 6 minutes for a group. So it's good for them to, and it's good conditioning as well. Okay? Ruby.
Okay. Toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss. On.
Hey, by the way,
then we do the whole series, okay? I'm still gonna hold them to account on where their feet are, where they're facing, etc. And good job. They go through the whole series, setting, etc. And if they finish early, one thing we like, okay, they finish early, the one thing they should never do until the end of time is stand there and stare. Okay? Never. Okay, they always gotta do something. So if they finish early, they can pepper and follow. 1 or 3 touches, pass, set, hit, and then follow. Okay, up to them. Okay, we're done with that part. Now we're going to warm up our arms. Okay, so go back to your partners. Get the ball. Both sides of the net. Same thing. So they're throwing the ball a little bit, and we're going to be very particular about this. Go ahead, You guys throw the ball. You're warming up your arms. Okay. This tall would beat almost every SEC team. And we've never seen anything like it. It was mind-blowing. Me telling you, like, he's exaggerating himself, I'm not at all.
No.
Okay? And one of the reasons why these players are so good, outside of the fact that they get to train 7 hours a day, is because their size is not an issue. And even though we brought players that are committed to, Big Ten schools, girls touching 10-6, we didn't block a single ball in the 20 games we played. Didn't block one. And we went against 5-6 hitters and they're going to toss it with a little bit of spin. They're also going to step back. Okay? They're going to toss it with a little spin. Their elbow's already back, and they're really going to focus on their wrist and their elbow, generating as much power as possible and using their core, but they're not going to have an artificial follow-up.
So it is important to talk about the one aspect of what we're talking about. There are 3 separate tosses in the gym. 3 separate. One is in self-toss. Self-toss. They will toss at the very beginning. In the hand control series, they will toss with 2 hands. Every other time they're in the gym, every other time they're playing pepper, their elbows will start back and the balls and they're not in the game. One of the reasons why it dresses, if you think about it, a lot of American girls do this. It's where their arm is. But then they'll get back to here. Right? No, it needs to be all the way back. And put our elbows back, I want you to swing, it's more power. Right? So again, elbows should be all the way back. Please, let them do this all the time, but their intent is an abomination before the eyes of the Lord. I tell you the truth. They do this and this. If they did this and this, they'll be fine, but they don't. Elbow needs to start all the way back. None of this toss in the gym unless they're doing self-toss.
All right, Sean. You know what? Yeah, just go man. You got it, warming up. Fire. Watch their elbow and watch their good. This will be good. Good. Good, baby. So hold for a second. So this is not bad. Although it does kill me that people are retired to get this. Right? So watch crazy. He used to pretty good use of these. So say, oh, your arm back here. So start back here. There we go. Look where contact. It's up here, not down here. And this is something where the players can self-coach themselves. Oh, my contact is down here. Oh, my contact is down here. What do Mark talks about? Every time you don't do that as a player, you do that right away. That rep's gone. You can't get better with that rep. Okay? Any questions on that? So we go right into our Hit 10 series, which has a lot of similarity. We can come here and get it. Hit 10 series, and this is something we got from Japan. The amount of times they hit to each other and play defense, it's all the time. Every drill, for some reason, they always find a way to incorporate some type of defense and hitting. Okay? So in this drill, same as our progressions that we had before. But they're going to start off with a dig. So one player is going to hit, same setup, they're going to hit, and another player is going to dig, and they're going to use the inline as a point of contact to where they can retreat and attack. This was actually an addition by us, just trying to follow the principle of adding repetition. All we saw initially was the hit 10 where they were hit with no tops or no follow through, and the player was catching. Said, hey, it makes sense to do some defensive stuff as well. So we worked on our football. And they're digging, and they are going through the ball control series as well. So the first part is dig to themselves, pass to the partner. Second part, dig themselves, rotational pass. But the most important part is what they do here. So even our best players, some of the best players in the country that are in this gym still don't do this correctly. Okay? And the idea is, and the timing is this. Okay, to treat this as a retreat and attack as you would in defense. They're going to use the line. She's going to shuffle back before she tosses. It's not a shuffle. Okay? She's going to shuffle back before she tosses. She's going to attack when she tosses. And then she's going to, this is the most important part, balance her feet on contact. Hey, so something else. I don't know how many people realize this is not, right? This is balance. And Gabby very correctly said stack. Right? The business posture, I'm left back. Right? I shouldn't be in balance. I should be in stack. Be here one, this is stack. This is balance. I'm going to shuffle back, and I come forward and be in balance. I should be in stack, not this player should actually beat them, all right? Almost midway, right there. That's perfect, okay? And it gives them enough room, enough space to hit and control the ball, okay? And we don't talk about ball control in the hitting aspect often. It's as important as everything else we do, ball control-wise, passing, setting, etc. Okay? And we'll go all the way, and we can't do it in one practice. We'll have one practice often where we just do back pass. Dig, get around it, back pass up under. And then the next week we'll do dig and set, overhand. Okay? But if we can go through our whole ball control series through the hit. Okay? Last, any questions with that? Last drill, trying to squeeze in here, it's getting longer. Grab, everybody get 2 balls. Is the eye sequence. We started messing with this a few years ago, and it's very good for volleyball IQ. Hurry guys, quickly.
Okay, so the best means to keep them harder, and they think they've always got to go with their friends. Discourage them.
Okay, so they have 2 balls in their hands. One ball is going to go between the players in a different way than their skill set. The other one is the skill. So the first part is pass and chest pass. So one ball is being chest pass, the other one's being pass. So they're having to discuss or think about and use their eye sequence to keep the ball in control, and they got to think about something else besides just the ball. A lot of our players don't do that during the game, okay? But our players psychologically have to be able to think of many things at the same time, okay? So that's the purpose of each drill, okay? So when you're ready, we're ready.
Okay, toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss.
Okay, what mind frame is underhand is the same thing as chest pass? There's not any underhand. It's a chest pass. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, ready? Toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss.
Stop. Again, the toss should be from this side, the chest pass from that side. Do it again.
Okay, ready? Toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss. Okay, ready? Toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss.
So they should be able to do this on one side if they're struggling. So let me have you 2 move over there. And you 2 move over there. Okay, you guys move down.
Hey, the other thing is this. This is not the balance. Put your hand right here. Keep going. Put your hand right here. The balance is it. I'm way down. I'm going to go in. That was an initial. That's bad. I'm going to get it right here. Don't let that there. That's perfect. That's what you should be doing.
And we want their eyes to look down at the ball. Don't let them do it in their peripheral. They need to purposefully take their attention away from the main ball. Let's have them try it. Let's have them try it again.
Okay, ready? Toss on toss. 1, 2, 3, toss.
Last one, they're going to roll on the ground. So they got to get low. I love this one, particularly when we get to the setting. Okay, because they got to stand all the way up and all the way down. You got to work hard. Okay.
Okay,
a setting, chest pass, setting, bounce pass, setting, and roll.
Okay,
Okay?
so what do you think the